About Law Roach. Oh, please hold. Okay, so fashion architect Law Roach is breaking his silence on his retirement from celebrity styling and says he's not leaving his girl Zendaya because a lot of people thought, oh, what's going to happen with your relationship with Zendaya, this, that, and the third, because they're no longer, he's retiring from fashion. So on Wednesday, the longtime stylist and image architect who's 44. Oh, I did not know he was 44, child. Same age as me. Made it clear the bond between him and the Euphoria actress is still going strong. Fans speculated that there were issues between the two after a video then went viral. Now, for those of you who don't know, there was a video because people were like, well, why is he retiring? Because he put, I quit. Oh, it was retired. That's what he put up. DJ, shout out to you. Put it up in the group chat because I'll be up on the social medias. Like, I mean, I do, but I don't. I don't get to catch everything. So I was like, retired. So I looked into it. But y'all are shady because, when I posted it on my, okay, we'll get to that. Okay. When I posted that on my social medias, the shade of a lot of people, like a lot of there was a lot of negative people. And I think what it was is because it was coming from the people who didn't like how he came across on Legendary. But when I was watching his exclusive interview with New York Magazine, where he was somehow upset and miserable. Oh, I like that outfit. Go ahead, niece. Anyway, and the hair's flowing. She got that Naomi Campbell, 40-inch. The one that Lux said that she had, but with evidence, girl, that, 40 inches of weave that you claim you wore in the premiere. But anyway, so, Lois somehow, like, for a long time, he was just unhappy with, the fashions and the styling and all that other stuff. So we do have a clip of his reasoning behind why he is leaving. But before we get to that, I want to set this up. So there was a lot of speculation as to why, because people were like, well, why is he leaving? He didn't really explain. He just basically said he was retiring. He was tired of the lies and the deceit and this and the third. It explains a lot of it at length in the New York Magazine interview. But a lot of people were saying that they noticed that there was some shade that happened at the Louis Vuitton show at Paris Fashion Week, where he always dresses Zendaya. She had like this tiger print look, and I do love the short hair on her. She looks really cute, very girly. So then Roach walked and stood in front of her. She was walking real fast. She was power walking to that seat. I noticed. And then Zendaya pointed to the seat behind her because I guess Laura thought that Emma Stone was getting up. Why would Emma Stone? Because they put everybody. I've been to fashion shows. I've sat second row, so I'm not big enough to be front row, but I have sat in the second row of fashion shows. So I don't know what all that means. I don't know if do they normally put stylists in to sit next to their artists? I mean, if y'all know people who really work in the fashion industry. Like I've done the New York Fashion Week thing back in the day. I've gone to a couple of shows at Lincoln Center. I'm gonna say Lincoln Square. I mean, same shit. Lincoln Center. I actually lived in Lincoln Center. When I worked with the Big Apple Circus, which is in between. Mother has lived. I've done a lot. But anyway, so that happened, and then there was another stylist that came out and said something about, I guess. Laura was dressing Bella Hadid for the Cannes Film Festival. And this other person who was supposed to be working with them, I forgot the person's name. What is it? Let me look. I believe, the Combino. I don't know what gender the person is. I didn't see the picture. I just saw all the information stuff that was up. But anyway, so the Combino came out and said something. I think that's how they say the name. It's the way it's spelled. I'm going, chat, it ain't, I'm going to say that other blogger. Similar name, the Combino. Anyway, so the Combino came out and went on social media and pretty much just shit all over Law's name, made him look crazy out here somehow. Oh, you trying to take an opportunity away from me? And I think he alluded to that in the interview. He was saying he was just tired of the misconstruing, the miscommunication. A lot of people saying things that's not true, and he was getting tired of it. So without further ado, let's get to this clip and we'll talk more about Mr. Roach. Roll the clip.
when I started working with Anne Hathaway, I was the first black stylist that was working with A-list white talent, and it was a big deal, right? It was a big deal in the community of black stylists. I think what it did was show the industry that we are just as talented, and that we can do talent other than black girls. That was a really important moment in my career, and it was a really important moment for other people's careers. Because it just wasn't happening. Right. It just absolutely wasn't happening. And you know, I didn't dress Anne at the beginning. I dressed Anne when Anne is Anne. You know, Anne is, you know, Oscar winning, like Anne is a movie star, right? And so what that did was gave actually other people hope that, you know, and other stylists, that they can do it too. And I think we saw, you know, Jason Bowden go on and style Angelina Jolie, which was, people don't understand, like, it's a pack of us, right? A very small pack of us, and every time we have a win, one of us have a win, it feels like it's a win for everybody else. Because at the end of the day, everybody wants the most successful career and the most diverse career that they can have, right? And everybody wants the opportunities, and unfortunately.
So yeah, if you want to see that full interview, you could definitely go to my website, chrisavalon.com, where, you know, Lord Roach basically breaks his silence on his retirement. I added the video today, so it has been updated, and I even reposted it on my Twitter and my my Facebook. So I make it, you know, I try to make it easier for y'all to find the stuff, because I didn't even know he did the interview until I think a friend of mine, Stephen Royster, shout out to him, posted something about the Law Roach thing, and some girl was like, one in the comments was like, "Oh, I was hanging on to every single word that was coming out of his mouth." So I love the fact of, like, you know what, people need to give people some grace to understand. Like, I see why Law was, you know, a little snooty with the energy and the attitude. Probably just a lot of bullshit that he was dealing with, and unfortunately, you bringing that over into things, so people kind of just go into a little situation and tangent about the whole, oh, I don't like it because of how he came across on Legendary and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, yeah, no, but but the thing with me is I live for the mess. Like, I'm entertained by the mess. I'm entertained by the shenanigans. I prefer people who are their unfiltered selves than people who try to produce themselves because they're worried about backlash from viewers and fans. That's why on this season of Drag Race, I am here for Lux, even though, because Lux is messy, and Mistress Isabel Brooks is not afraid to come out. She's like, you know what, these shows, these seasons have been stale for a long time. Too many of these damn queens be on here producing themselves because they worried about the backlash of the fans and this, that, and the third. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna do what needs to be done, and I'm gonna just say what I need to say, to take a quote from Law. So you know what, I feel like Law says he is not leaving fashion. He will always be a part of the fashion world, but he is not going to be this whole stylist for hire type of person, because he's tired of the bullshit. He's tired of shenanigans. He's tired of people lying on his name. He's tired of people questioning his integrity. And he's done with all that extra, the crazy politics of celebrity styling. He can do other things in the fashion world. There's so many things that he can do in the world of fashion. I would like to see Law as a judge on a fashion show. You know what? What's that damn show on Netflix that just ended with My Boy Just Won? With Gigi Hadid and Tan France. They need to get him on there as a permanent judge if that show comes back for a season 3. I'm hoping it does, because I like it. I don't know why am I thinking Making the Cut. Making the Cut is with Tim Gunn and Heidi Klum. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Child, I'm drawing a blank. But I would love to see him on that, or some type of fashion show, or even Project Runway. I mean, you know, Christian Siriano was on there, and Christian always turns it out with the fashions. So I would love to see Law on a reality show with fashion. Since Legendary ain't coming back, I kind of wish it was, but unfortunately, it's not. Thank you. Next in Fashion. I don't know why I could not remember the name of that show. I love that show, by the way. I know people saying it was boring, But I don't feel like everything needs drama. Sometimes, when I watch competition shows, I like watching shows where it's just a lot of, amazing clothes, how they put things together, the pressure, being the pressure cooker, all that other stuff. Like, I love watching people I love creative people and watching them be creative, like taking something from nothing and turning it into something